Welcome to the Atlanta District's 2021 Annual Bicycle Meeting. My name is Katie Martin, and I'm the Advanced Planning Engineer for TxDOT's Atlanta District. We hold this meeting annually to share and communicate with the fellow cyclists around our district about bike accessible roadways and upcoming projects that will improve our system for cyclists. We also include discussions about projects that will benefit pedestrians in our district. We hope this is an informative presentation and will be beneficial use of your time. We look forward to hearing from you about our plans and projects and encourage you to reach out to us at any time. As stated previously, the purpose of this public meeting is to provide information on transportation projects that might affect bicycle use, plans, policies, and programs for the TxDOT Atlanta District and to receive public comments on those projects. Our district continuously coordinates with our local metropolitan planning organizations, also known as MPOs, and local governments to collaboratively seek out needs and reach common goals to continue to develop the multimodal network within our district. But before we continue, I would like to share a safety moment with everyone tuning into this virtual bicycle meeting. We know everyone took time out of their day to attend this meeting, and we appreciate it. As such, we would like to express our continued concern for safety by sharing a safety tip with you to raise awareness of pedestrian safety and to share some pedestrian safety tips. Safety on our roadway is not just important to drivers, it's very important to pedestrians that we share our roadway with. When you're one of those pedestrians, here are some tips that you can use. Number 1, always cross the street at an intersection. Number 2, obey the walk, don't walk pedestrian signals. Don't enter the crosswalk once the hands begin flashing. Number 3, push the push to walk sign where available. It adds pedestrian crossing time to the traffic signal. Number 4, always stay alert. Don't be a distracted walker. Number 5, never assume vehicles, cars, buses, or bikes see you. Look both ways before you cross the street. By keeping these tips in mind, you could continuously contribute significantly to your safety, as well as those around you. So let me introduce you to the TxDOT's Atlanta District and its counties. The Atlanta District includes all of the 9 counties shown on this map. This includes Bowie County, Camp County, Cass County, Harrison County, Marion County, Morris County, Panola County, Titus County, and Upshur County. We'll be discussing projects within these 9 counties throughout this presentation. So before we continue with our projects and plan, I'd also like to introduce you to the 2 metropolitan planning organizations, also known as MPOs, that have boundaries in our district. We plan to coordinate with both of these entities when ranking projects and developing our plans. The map on the screen represents the Texarkana MPO boundary map. We work continuously with the Texarkana MPO throughout each year to identify needs, develop, and rank projects. The Atlanta District also includes a portion of the Longview MPO region. As you can see on the map, the beige portion that resides in Harrison County is in the Atlanta District. So we also coordinate and collaborate with this MPO throughout the year as well. So let's start with some projects that we have in our district that are actually under construction, and then we'll move on to some that are being developed, being designed. This first project here is in Bowie County, and it actually resides in the Texarkana MPO boundaries in the city of Texarkana. It's on Summerhill Road. It is a sidewalk project that's under construction. Its limits extend from US 82 to West 10th Street. Like it says here, the description is to construct sidewalks. This project is near completion. It was let in December of 2019, and we're actually in the process of doing the punch list and completing the project. So it should be fully functional soon. The length of this project is 0.585 miles, and we have 2 more projects in Texarkana that we'll move on to next. Like I said, this is the second project in Texarkana. It is also on Summerhill Road. It is under construction to construct sidewalks. Again, of course, in the Texarkana MPO boundary. This project on Summerhill Road extends from Meadow Lane to Kennedy Lane, and it's 0.616 miles. This project also let in 2019, December of 2019, and it is very near completion. Again, doing the punch list activities to make sure everything's taken care of, and then it'll be fully functional. Okay, this is the last project that we have under construction in Texarkana in Bowie County. Again, it's in the Texarkana MPO boundary. This project is on FM 559, also known as Richmond Road. The limits are from North Robinson Road to College Drive. It's 0.484 miles long. It also let in December of 2019. The description of work is to construct sidewalks. We are very near completion. This project is again doing the punch list type activities and should be fully functional very, very soon. And that will wrap up our projects that we have under construction in Texarkana. The project on this slide is actually in Harrison County in the city of Marshall. It was selected in the 2017 Transportation Alternative Set-Aside Project or program. The limits of this project are on Johnson Street, 5 Notch Road, and Positive Place. We're constructing sidewalks for a total length of 0.68 miles, and this project let in May of 2021. So now that we've completed some discussion on projects that we have under construction, I'll begin talking about projects that we have planned to go to construction in the near future. This first project depicted on this slide and the next slide is the reconstruction and widening of FM 989. This is also known as Kings Highway in Texarkana. The project is within the Texarkana MPO boundary. It's in Bowie County, of course. The limits along Kings Highway for this project are from north of the Interstate 30 frontage road to 3/10 of a mile north of Gibson Lane. The work that will be going on is to widen the existing 2-lane highway to a 4-lane divided urban section with shared use outside lanes. So these shared use outside lanes, as will be seen in the next slide, are to be shared with between cyclists and the regular traveling public and vehicles. The project is 0.53 miles long, and we are proposing to let this project to construction in April of 2022. So as you can see on this slide, this is the Kings Highway proposed typical section. This is what it will look like when construction is complete in the future. We're proposing to go to 4 lanes, which would be 2 lanes running north and 2 lanes running south, with a center left turn lane. There's also going to be sidewalk on each side, on the west side and the east side of this roadway. I want you to notice that the shared use lane are the 2 outside lanes. They'll be a little bit wider, and as you can see in the picture, they're proposed to be shared between cyclists and vehicles, and that's where cyclists will reside. And then pedestrians, of course, will use the sidewalk. So this brings us to our I-30 frontage road project. We're proposing to build frontage roads from FM 3419 to FM 989, also known as Kings Highway. The limits are within the Texarkana MPO. This work will consist of constructing frontage roads, entrance and exit ramps, and turnaround bridges at 989 and 3419. There will be a shared outside lane, just like you saw in the Kings Highway project, but there are also proposed sidewalks, or room for proposed sidewalks. And we hope to let this project with the Kings Highway project in April of 2022. Okay, so as you can see here on this slide, this is in relation to the slide we saw previous that showed the limits of this project. But this is the proposed addition of one-way frontage roads along I-30 from 3419 to 989. As you can see here in the existing sections, there are no frontage roads. There are some local feeder roads out there, but there's no formal frontage roads. This project will add those. So in the proposed section at the bottom, you can see that we're proposing to add 2 lanes in each direction. One on the south side of the road will have 2 lanes running east, and on the north side of the road we'll have 2 lanes running west. And if you'll notice, the outside lanes are shared use lanes, which means they'll be a little bit wider to accommodate bicyclists as well as vehicles. We are proposing to widen the crown out to accommodate sidewalks in the future. If we can fund them, we will construct sidewalks within this project, but they may be constructed in the future. I'd like to introduce another project that we're working on with the City of New Boston to construct in Bowie County. This project was selected in 2019 as part of our Transportation Alternatives project. It's proposing downtown sidewalks within the limits that you can see on this map. The limits, or the various highways or streets that we're proposing to construct sidewalks on, are North and South Elm Street, Front Street, West Line Drive, and Ellis Street. Of course, the description of work is to construct sidewalks. Will include curb ramps, pedestrian crossings, and a pedestrian bridge. The total length is 0.95 miles long, and we're hoping to let this project in June of 2022. Another project that we have in the works that was also selected in the 2019 Transportation Alternatives project is in Hallsville in Harrison County. This project runs along Cider Lane from US 80 to Cal Young Road near the Hallsville High School. This project is proposed to construct a shared use path. So a shared use path is a wider version of a sidewalk that you see, but it's wider than normal sidewalks, but it's proposed to share traffic for pedestrians and cyclists. The total length of this project is 0.37 miles long, and we're hoping to let this project in July of 22. So that gets us to this next project. It's along US 82 in Bowie County. It's under development right now. There's 3 different sections. I'll get to those in the next slide, but it does have 4 project numbers, but there's 3 sections. It essentially stretches in totality from US 259 down to 0.3 of a mile south of I-30 near New Boston, so effectively stretching from DeKalb to New Boston. There's different types of work within these limits, and I'll get to that, but we're hoping to let this project in September of 2024, but it does include both pedestrian and cyclist amenities, and I'll describe that next. So as you can see here, there's a lot of verbiage on this slide, but it essentially describes what's going on US 82 from DeKalb to New Boston. We've got some typical sections I'll show next, but we've got 3 sections. There's the US 82 DeKalb section. It runs from 259 through DeKalb to the south. It includes the widening, reconstruction, and realignment of the roadway that's out there. We'll have one 12-foot travel lane in each direction, one 14-foot shared use lane in each direction that'll accommodate bicycles as well as vehicular traffic. And there's going to be sidewalks for pedestrians throughout the downtown area. The drainage design will have a new storm drain feature, so you'll see curb and gutter out there. And again, this extends from 259 through DeKalb. So picking up in that rural section is section 2, right outside DeKalb, down to State Highway 98. That is going to be what we refer to as the US 82 middle section. It's already been widened once to a Super 2. This project will effectively widen it to the 5-lane section, so we have 2 lanes in each direction with a center left turn lane. The drainage in this section will be open ditches, and there will be a shoulder in each direction to accommodate cyclist traffic. And then the 3rd section is a section of US 82 that's down near I-30, and so this will go from State Highway 98 to 0.3 of a mile south of I-30, and it includes widening, reconstruction, and realignment also of the roadway section. It'll have 2 12-foot lanes in each direction and a shoulder in each direction with a continuous center left turn lane. So let's go to the next slide and you can see what we have proposed and what it'll look like. So again, this is the 3 different projects. We've got typical sections for each one. We've got existing on the left and proposed on the right. And as you can see, the proposed typical sections that extend from 259 to just east of the city of DeKalb will have the 2 lanes in each direction, 2 12-foot lanes in each direction, 2 shared use lanes in each direction, and a portion of it will have shoulder and then sidewalks on each side. As you can see, the length of this project has the Northeast Texas Trail on the south side of the road. The next section, the section that's already been widened once that we're preparing to widen to that ultimate 5-lane section, is from 1840 to State Highway 98. It will go from the Super 2, which is like a 3-lane section, to the 5-lane section you see here. So 2 lanes in each direction, a center left turn lane with shoulder. And then down near I-30, it goes from State Highway 98 to 3/10 of a mile east of I-30. You'll have 2 lanes in each direction, a center left turn lane, and a shoulder in that area. So all 3 of these sections will accommodate cyclists in the future, and they do reside near or run parallel for the most part to the Northeast Texas Trail. Okay, that brings us to our next project. This is also along US 82. It kind of picks up where the other projects left off, but it runs from the Red River County line all the way to 259. This one's under development also. We have a proposed letting date of September 2025, depending on funding for this project. We're working to widen this road from a 2-lane highway to a 4-lane divided highway with a paved median and 10-foot shoulders to accommodate cyclists. I'm going to switch now to the next slide that shows the proposed typical section so you can see it in more detail. Okay, so these are the typical sections of the project that I was just telling you about that runs from the Red River County line to US 259 near DeKalb. As you can see in the top section, the existing section, right now we have 1 lane in each direction with shoulders. In the proposed section at the bottom, we're proposing to construct 2 lanes in each direction with a center left turn lane and shoulder, and the shoulders will accommodate cyclists if they choose to ride on our highways. If you'll notice, the Northeast Texas Trail runs just to the south, adjacent to this project. So on to our next project. This is the US 82 and FM 989 project in Nash, Texas. We plan to widen both of these roads. In the next 4 slides, I want to talk about these 2 projects. They're kind of rolled into one. It also consists of their intersection as well. Let's start with the US 82 portion. This portion extends from 9/10 of a mile west of FM 989 in Nash to I-369's west frontage road. It is within the Texarkana MPO boundaries in the county of Bowie. The description of work is to widen the existing 2-lane highway to a 4-lane divided highway with dedicated bike lanes and sidewalks. So this is both these projects will have dedicated bike lanes. Right now, the estimated letting date is January 2031. So let's move on to the next slide, and we can look at what the typical sections will look like. So as you can see on US 82 right now, the existing typical section on the top consists of 2 lanes running east and west with a center left turn lane. Once the widening is completed, the proposed section will have 2 lanes running east, 2 lanes running west, a center left turn lane, a bike lane on each side of the road, and a sidewalk. The storm drain, there will be a storm drain system installed, so there won't be open ditches anymore. But we will accommodate pedestrian and cyclist traffic on this roadway. So now let's look at FM 989. We'll switch to that slide. So this is the widening of 989, also known as Kings Highway. The limits are from the I-30 South Frontage Road to 1/10 of a mile north of US 82. Again, it's also in the Texarkana MPO limits or boundary. And we are planning to widen FM 989 from a 4-lane undivided highway to a 4-lane divided highway with dedicated bike lanes and sidewalks. The estimated letting date pending funding is January 2031. So if you will, The section on the top, typical section on the top, is the existing typical section. It shows 2 lanes in each direction for 4 lanes total. 99 runs north and south. On the proposed section, when we're done with construction, we will have 2 lanes still running in each direction, as well as a center left turn lane, 2 bike lanes on each side of the road, as well as sidewalks. There will be a storm drain system installed on this as well, with no open ditches. So the Nash project kind of wrapped up our projects that are under development. So now we've talked about projects that are under construction, projects that are under development, and now I want to introduce you to 2 projects that we will be moving into development. They have been chosen recently. They were part of our 2019 Transportation Alternatives program. The City of Texarkana submitted these projects, and they were considered and chosen recently, and so we'll start to work with the City of Texarkana to develop these projects. The first project seen here is along College Avenue. The proposal is to construct sidewalks and bicycle lanes along both sides of College Avenue from Robinson Road all the way to State Line, also known as US 71. In addition, at the intersection of Texas Boulevard, they're proposing to update the pedestrian signalization, bicycle and pedestrian signalization. So that will be improvement at that location, but all of that will be encompassed in this one project. Let's move on to the second one. So this is the next project that was chosen. It was also submitted under the 2019 Transportation Alternatives Project Program. Texarkana, the City of Texarkana, submitted it. This project is along North Robinson Road, and it extends from Bright Street to Richmond Road, and there's some more parts on the next slide I'll show you. So it's not just this road, but there's some more parts that we'll get to. But the proposed design is to construct sidewalks along both sides of Robinson Road, and there will be some crosswalks considered, as well as updating some existing signals. So like I said, these have not started development yet. We are looking forward to getting started with them, but I wanted to share you the limits. Again, this is the Robinson Road portion. So let's move to the next slide. This is in addition to Robinson Road, which I just showed you. The project limits also extend along West 15th Street from Robinson Road to the Theron Jones School. And then also it'll turn and go down Milam Street. So it goes from West 15th Street to 13th Street along Milam Street. So again, the proposal is to construct sidewalks along Robinson within the limits on the previous slide, as well as what you see here in blue. We're looking forward to getting started with these projects and working closely with the City of Texarkana to move these projects to construction. So that kind of wraps up the projects that we have under construction and development. Kind of bringing us to the end of our presentation here. But in addition to that, I wanted to let you know some other things that are available on the same site where you clicked and entered into this public meeting. There's also some more information available. We're supplying for your ability to download the Atlanta District list of projects that are going to let between May of 21 and August of 22. We're going to have the Atlanta District map with roads highlighted that have shoulders 4 foot and greater. We're also going to supply the notice of this public meeting that we're having right here, the display ad that was placed in general circulation newspapers, and there's also going to be a comment form available. So I encourage you, if you have any comments, any feedback on any of these projects, or any feedback just in general of any bicycle or pedestrian needs, please fill out that comment form, and you can mail it in or you can email it to Terry McCaslin. All of that information is out there and available, and I'll show you on the next slide the contact information. We've also made available this presentation. Not only can you view it here, but you can download it and keep it for reference, and also a statewide bicycle and pedestrian program presentation that has been shared statewide. You might be interested in looking at that too. So So again, you're welcome to submit a comment. We actually encourage it. You can print out the comment card, you can fill it out and mail it back to us at the address on the screen, or you can email your comments to terry.mccaslin@TxDOT.gov. Please remember, comments relative to this meeting must be postmarked or otherwise received by Wednesday, July 14th, 2021. So in addition, you can always reach out at any time with specific questions on statuses and general inquiries at the contact information on this page. We do appreciate your interest and your time. From all of us here at the Atlanta District, we hope this finds you well and safe, and we encourage any questions or comments. So until next year, we wish you a healthy and safe year. Thank you very much.